Gross. Ugh, this is a bad one. Not liking this. Oh hey, just picking up my dog waste. Pet ownership, am I right? Hold on. Are you saying I could get paid how much to do this? That's right, in today's case study, I'm taking a look at the pet waste removal business, AKA dog poop cleanup service that's making one founder more than $100,000 in annual revenue, or to put another way, more than $8,000 per month, which you've gotta admit ain't bad money for picking up dog feces. What? After all, it's like they always say, one man's poop is another man's treasure.
Wait, I'm pretty sure no one says that.
What I love about this business is that you don't need any formal training or specialized equipment to get started. If you've got a bag, a form of transportation, and some basic marketing skills, you too could start this business. I'd probably invest $15 in some gloves too, but that's just me. The business I'm evaluating today is Kroopin's Poopin Scoopin. Based out of Indiana and founded by Erica Krupin, Erica has more than 80 monthly paying customers, paying her between $56 a month and $120 a month to pick up poop, plus a few special one-time projects that we'll get into later. As the owner of a pet waste cleanup company, your job is simple. You need to find customers. Most likely it's going to be people that are homeowners or managers of apartment complexes that need pet waste cleaned regularly. Then you just go out to the property, pick up the waste, and charge for the service on a recurring basis. Bing bam boom. How much should you charge to scoop poop? Great question. As mentioned earlier, Erica charges between $56 and $120 monthly, and the rate is determined by just some simple factors like the size of the yard or the number of pets living on site. Here's an overview of the cleanup services that Kroopin's offers and how each one of them adds to the bottom line at the end of the year. The main revenue for the business, of course, comes from these monthly cleanings. This represents $78,000, or about 75% of the company's total revenue. Kroopin's will visit each site one time per week to collect waste and charge clients on a recurring monthly basis. As you can see, monthly cleanings are the bread and butter of this business, but there are other cleanings that add to Erica's bottom line at the end of the year too. So let's look at those. The next income category is one-time or first-time cleanings. This represents $6,300, or 6% of the business revenue. As the owner of the Poop Scoop business, you will be approached to do one-off jobs on different properties. You should charge more for these one-off services, since a customer that pays you one time is not going to be worth as much as a customer that pays you every single month. Also, in service businesses like this, similar to maid services, usually they charge a higher fee the first time because when you come visit a new property, it's probably, the lawn is going to be dirtier, there's going to be more poop laying out there, it's just going to require more time to get it cleaned up for that initial time period. One reasonable option would be to increase your rates by $50, $100 the first time for cleaning, depending on how much work you think it's going to be. Finally, spring cleanings make up roughly 19%, or $20,000 of the business revenue on an annual basis. If you live in an area with snow, winter weather, spring cleaning services are going to be something that some homeowners will want. Erica gets super busy during this time period because owners just want to clean up their yards in preparation for the summer months when they're going to be outside again. Now, by running a spring cleaning promotion, you can also drum up a lot of new business between the months of April and May, and Erica puts in a ton of hours during this time of the year and often enlists her husband and other close friends or family members to conduct cleanings too. Now, when you add up each one of these different services, you get a total annual revenue of $104,300. Of course, this is a gross revenue number. It doesn't factor in expenses and taxes, so let's talk about those right now. Here's what you're gonna need to get started, plus the expenses. You're gonna need bags to put waste into. Erica buys bags off of Amazon, so there's no big expense here. It's not like a fancy bag, not a specialized bag. Erica also recommends this scooping bucket that's sold for under 50 bucks on Amazon. Another suggestion is to pick up these throwaway blue shoe covers that go for under $30. Otherwise, literally all you're gonna need is transportation. If you already, car, bike, truck. If you already have one of these, awesome, you're good to go. Eventually, you're gonna want to invest in things like a website, but you can get started with nothing more than a social media account and your personal Facebook page. That's all you need right away. You'll need a way to accept payments, of course. You can use PayPal, Stripe, Venmo, etc. Processing fees, when you collect it this way, it's going to take a little cut out of your check. Eventually, you might want to pay for advertising and some targeted local campaigns, paying for flyers, paying for business cards. Labor is another big expense. I'd suggest doing this job yourself when you're first getting into it, and then bringing on friends and family to support you when needed. Finally, you're also going to need to pay taxes just like any other business. Uncle Sam, he's the worst uncle I've ever had, right? Another variable expense you're going to need to consider is gas. Depending on where you live, the cost of gas is going to vary wildly right now. For example, if you live in California, you're probably paying more than $5 per gallon. But if you live in North Dakota, you're probably paying less than $4 per gallon. This is a big difference, and it can make a big difference on your bottom line, especially when you're thinking about driving places every single week, every single month. Your gas expenses will vary, of course, depending on how far you need to drive between cleanings. If you've got to drive 20 miles to get from one customer to the next, you're going to end up earning less money from each client just due to the cost of gas and, of course, time. It pays to have customers grouped closely together geographically, if you can. There are a few ways you could help reduce these variable expenses right away. Here's what I would try right away if I was running this business. The first thing I do is I would see if I could visit customers every other week instead of every single week like Erica does, but charge literally the same amount. This would reduce the amount of gas and the time required to service these customers, and I bet a large portion of the customer base really wouldn't care if you came every other week instead of weekly. I mean, really, can you think of literally any other service business that comes to your house every single week? I can't think of one. Next, I'd get creative and try to step up my marketing in the neighborhoods where I already had customers. So ask your existing customers if they have any neighbors with pets. Drop off flyers or coupons to people who live nearby your existing customers. If you're going to be driving out to a certain part of town anyways, it pays to have multiple stops there. Now let's talk about how to market your pet waste service once you get it started. Another thing I think is cool about starting a pet waste removal service is that success or failure is really going to come down to how good you are at local marketing. If you can master the skill of acquiring local customers, I think you can have success in pretty much any business that you wanted to start. Maid service, power washing, home repair, plumbing, whatever. You could apply this same skill to pretty much any business like that. With that being said, here's what's worked for Kroopin's Poopin Scoopin to find customers. The first tip is a great one because it's so simple, and I promise you can do it within 5 minutes. When Erica opened her business, she did a soft launch on Facebook, just to family and friends, and basically she just wrote a post or a status update letting people know that she was offering pet waste cleanup and to reach out to her directly if people wanted help or wanted more information. Erica got one message right away, and that was her first client. From there, she mostly used word of mouth and would just ask around if anyone wanted their yard scoop. Pretty simple. Ask your neighborhood, friends, family members to share the word on social media too, to get even more eyeballs on it. From there, it's mainly going to be word of mouth advertising to get the message out about your services. Here are a few more really smart marketing tactics that Erica uses successfully to promote her business. Remember, at the end of the day, all you need to do is get your message in front of dog owners in your area. So ask yourself, where do other dog owners hang out in your town? Are there dog parks in your area? Are there dog-friendly restaurants or breweries in your area? Pet food stores, vet offices, each of these locations would be places to leave business cards, post flyers, and connect with people. Some smart things that Erica has done: posting before and after photos of pet cleanings on local Facebook groups, walking into local vet offices and pet suppliers. Erica will drop off some donuts and a hot pink business card. No one has ever complained to her about free donuts. And finally, Erica paid $250 to place a hot pink banner at a local dog park. The cool thing is, again, you don't need to reinvent the marketing wheel here. Just get your message in front of people, make your pricing clear, let people know how to contact you, and that should be good enough. Now, one last thing I want to comment on with this business. While I think this is a super cool business to start, let's be real, some of your friends, maybe even your boyfriend or girlfriend, is going to to think you're nuts for wanting to try this. I mean, you're picking up poop as a business. Aside from the fact that you could probably make more money picking up poop than your friends make getting dressed up for a fancy office job, Erica addresses this feedback phenomenally in a YouTube video. Check it out.
The reason why I wanted to make this video is because when I started my poop scooping business, I remember getting made fun of. I remember the looks that people gave me when I said I was going to start my business. And I believed in myself. My husband believed in me so much, and he was there rooting me on, even when I kind of felt like, I don't know if I'm making the right decision. Like, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing right now? I can't believe I was going to school to potentially be a physical therapist, and now I like have given all that up to pick up dog poop. It's not the dog poop, you guys. Picking up the dog poop is such a small portion of this business. You might think that this is what it's all about. It's just picking up dog poop. But this business allows you to have freedom.
Good for you about not giving a crap about what other people think about you, Erica. And I'll add this, no matter what type of business you plan to start, YouTuber, blogger, daycare center, whatever, you'll come across someone who thinks it's a stupid idea. Whatever, who cares? Let them continue to be happily employed for the next 30 to 40 years if everything works out for them. And get out there, smile, and prove them wrong. If you want to learn more about the dog waste cleanup business, I've linked to more of Erica's videos in the description below. Let me know what you think of this business opportunity in the comments below. Again, I love it. Low startup cost, almost no financial risk. You don't need to buy anything to get started outside of plastic bags, and you'll learn marketing and sales skills that you can apply to literally any local service business along the way. Done.